Well, good day, everybody. It's Dr. A back in the garden. And I'm here with you today to share some of the really cool stories about the plants we grow. A garden is a lot more than just a bunch of plants. A garden is a lot more than just having a glass of wine and admiring it from a distance. Plants have stories, and it's so much fun to know some of the stories so that when you're wandering around the garden with your glass of wine or your cup of tea, you can tell stories to others. And the really neat thing about storytelling is those people will tell that story to someone else. So join me as I take you through the garden and share with you stories from the garden. In springtime, it is pretty hard to beat the beauty of a dogwood tree. There are many species of dogwoods, but all are spectacular and all just fire the imagination on the beauty and where you're going to put this in the garden. But I wonder if anybody who has seen a dogwood in all its glory doesn't wonder just a little bit about what does a dogwood have to do with dogs? I mean, I'm sure that most people don't think like you and I do, but I mean, a dog? I've looked at this tree many times and I don't see anything resembling any kind of dog that I know. And so I started looking up and wondering what the heck this dogwood tree had to do with dogs. And I believe that there's the idea that a dogwood tree might heal mange in dogs was bantied about. And because the name was dogwood, I think people just thought that it must have something to do with healing dogs. And in fact, people would take the bark of a dogwood, boil it down into a liquid, and use it to treat mange on dogs. Certainly, having talked to a number of vets, there is nothing medicinal in dogwood bark. And in fact, all you can do is feel sorry for both the tree and the dog, because this is an example truly of a story based on the name rather than an explanation of the name itself. The most sensible interpretation likely has to do with the hardness of the wood. If you cut dogwood or cut into the branches, it is a very hard wood. And its common name has likely evolved over time. It was apparently known by the Old English word dagwood, D-A-G, wood. The slender stems of very hard wood were used for something called dags. Think of daggers or skewers or arrows. But apparently sometime, probably in the early 1600s, Old English word dagwood was corrupted and changed to dogwood. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm not sure when it happened, but it could have happened with colonists or any time. But somehow along the way, over many, many years, the name dagwood was changed to dogwood. And that's what we have today. So when you see a dogwood, steer people away from the idea that it has anything to do with dogs, and certainly steer them away it has anything to do with medicinal use for dogs. But it is a good story. Take a piece of dogwood, feel how hard it is, and you will understand the term dagwood, daggers, skewers, and the like. And then just say, hey, that's history. That's how words evolved. And the dagwood became dogwood. I hope you have enjoyed today's story as much as I've enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you for listening. For more information and more stories, go to my website, www.allanarmitage.net. If you go to the bookstore, you will see one of my most popular books, Naked Ladies and Forget-Me-Nots, How Plants Get Their Common Names. And another wonderfully popular book is Legends in the Garden. Who in the World is Nellie Stevens? These and other books on the website I think you will enjoy, and I hope you have a chance to take a look at them. Once again, thank you for listening, and I look forward to sharing another story with you next week.